Alright, 5th graders, we are going to be creating timelines of the lives of the founding fathers. This is one of your objectives from social studies. Your objective is to create a timeline on one of the founding fathers, and we're going to choose those in a little bit. You're going to create a document first in your drive with the same name as your historical figure. You're going to record the dates for the birth, death, and at least 3 other important dates with a brief description. You're going to have to do a little research for that. But first I want to show you how to get to the actual program that we're going to create the timeline with. So let's go to our drive, click on New or Create, whichever version you have, More, and connect more apps. You're going to type in Lucidchart, L-U-C-I-D chart, and hit enter. There are 2 Lucidcharts. I want you to click Lucidchart for Education. Once you do this, it will appear in your drive. So you will click More again and select Lucidchart. Lucidchart gives you some standard templates. We are going to search for the education templates, and then we are going to search for the timeline. Hang in there, it's probably at the bottom. Once you find the timeline, click on that. It'll take a couple of seconds to load. We do not want to upgrade. Now, it asks for name, date, and timeline. This would be important if we were going to print this out. I'm just going to click on each of these text boxes, and I'm going to delete those. Now, I know this is a timeline. In order to add to this timeline, you need to become familiar with some of the tools. The first toolbar, you probably recognize it is similar to Microsoft Word and to Google Documents. You've got some basic font choices, color choices, spacing, size of the lines on the boxes. Over here is what you really need to play around with. If you're doing a flowchart, you have these boxes that you can drag over. And once you let off the left click, you can type in there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I've created a template for you to play around with. I'm going to choose George Washington, and I'm going to put birth. Now the birth, I can't remember right off the top of my head, so you do need to put a date there. In addition to that, I'm going to add some more flow chart boxes. You should have 5 events. I like to do them on either side of the timeline, and then you can always come back and change whatever you need to. But if these boxes get larger, then they'll be on opposite sides of the line and you'll have more space. You need to end the process with death and a date for that as well. 3 in the middle are up to you. You need to do some research and find out what were 3 of the most important events in his life. What 3 things happened that you think someone should know. Lastly, you're going to need your name. You're also going to need the name of the timeline, and you're going to need a picture, an image to go along with your timeline to make it interesting. You can do this a number of ways. You can include a container. In this container, we can insert an image. Let's see. I'm looking for my images here. I'm not seeing them. There we go. These are my images. Whoa, too big. So we're going to use some standard resizing methods. I'm just going to put that in the container. And then I can also add some text. This container's too small, so I want to move it under here. And add the name George Washington. Okay, so these are the basics of Lucidchart. I'm sure you guys in playing around with it and completing your project, you're going to come up with some more uses, some ideas that I wasn't even aware you could do. There we go. I accidentally created a line there. I want to get rid of that. But anyway, so this is your first video. Stop, pause, replay, and then of course I'll always be here, and Miss Ivy will always be here to help you along the way. Enjoy, learn a little bit about one of the founding fathers, and I look forward to seeing your work.